Hello, guys, and welcome back to Total Extreme Wrestling 2013 TNA. This is Season 2, Episode 7 of this particular series. We got a 1.95 on Destination America last week. That's down from the last episode, which got a 2.01. And we're also down on Spike with a 4.42 instead of a 4.52. We are in February. We only lost $88,000 last month, and I say that because I spent like 700,000 on the dojo and the developmental program, creating them. In our history, we've bettered ourselves each week with a 71 C plus to start it off, and a 72 B minus, 73 B minus for Genesis, 75 B minus for for 2 episodes ago, and last episode we got a 77 B on Impact. So that's great. We signed Zack Sabre Jr., as you can see right there. We're going to be in the southeast region tonight in the Florida Americraft Expo Center in Miami, Florida, or somewhere in there. We have 6 pre-show matches and only 13 regular regular show segments. So, it's on the show, guys. To start us off, we have a great match, a 75 B minus, in a match that had some good action and average heat. The Hardys defeated the Romans in 7 minutes 37 seconds when Matt Hardy defeated Jesse by pinfall with an extreme combination. Both teams showed great chemistry. Jeff Hardy is improving in performance skills, and Jesse seemed off his game tonight. Jesse is the next big thing, so that's kind of disappointing. And we have the debuting Bad Influence going up against Manic and the Great Sonata of the Revolution. Kazarian got the win when he defeated Sonata by pinfall with a fade to black. Kazarian debuted his cocky face gimmick and got a 100 rating. That's great. Then Christopher Daniels debuted his cocky face gimmick and that got a 94. That's also great. And of course, Bad Influence have excellent chemistry when teaming together. No skill improvements. And next we have in about that had solid in ring action, but not much in the way of heat. Kenny Doane defeated Low Key in 7 minutes 53 seconds by pinfall with a sky high leg drop. I've noticed that I'm pretty much burying Low Key right now, and that's mainly because he is an extremely negative influence on the locker room. Even though it's usually at 100%, he's still really the only negative. He is actually the only negative influence on the locker room. The only other negative influence would be Sonata being isolated by the language barrier. Then we have an about that had solid in-ring action, but not much in the way of heat. Kamaru defeated Shark Boy in 8 minutes 16 seconds by pinfall with the Kamaru's Rage. And then we see in a match that had some good action and average heat, Motor City Machine Guns defeated the Revolution in 8 minutes 6 seconds when Alex Shelley defeated Abyss by pinfall with a Made in Detroit 72 B minus. We had a few good matches on the pre-show. Hopefully the crowd's hyped up for the show. Oh, we have another pre-show match. I forgot about that. And a match that had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Bram defeated DJZ in 8 minutes 6 seconds by pinfall with a Velvet Noise. Bram switched to a loose cannon gimmick, and it has gotten an initial 94 rating. And Bram was really off his game tonight. That's interesting. No skill improvements. To start off the show, Jim Ross and Mike Tenay are hyping the expected impacts of the likes of Kurt Angle, Austin Aries, Jeff Jarrett, Drew Galloway, Bobby Roode, and John Hennigan are likely to have. Only got a 64C. Then we continue the show with Kurt Angle and Austin Aries come down to the ring. They take microphones and start talking to the crowd before eventually getting interrupted by Jeff Jarrett and Drew Galloway. They have a big argument going back and forth on the microphone before agreeing to face each other later on in a tag team match. That will happen at Against All Odds, which is the next pay-per-view, and it will actually be a 3v3 pay-per-view match. And again, Angle did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. Aries worked well using the freedom to improvise to advantage. Drew Galloway was very poor when trying to improvise dialogue. And Kurt came out of the segment looking excellent. That's great. We see in about that solid in-ring action, but not much in the way of heat. Carlos Colon Jr. Sorry about that. Carlos Colon Jr. defeated Samuel Shaw in 8 minutes 37 seconds by pinfall with a backstabber. Just trying to get Carlos Colon Jr. some momentum towards his match. Samuel Shaw was off his game tonight, and apparently Brittany is Samuel Shaw's manager. Carlos Colon is improving in performance skills, and Samuel Shaw is improving in technical skills. The camera remains focused on the ring, where Carlos Colon Jr. and Kenny King engage in a tension-filled stare-down. Neither give ground. 45D. Apparently, something's wrong with Kenny King, because last time through I didn't get as bad ratings with Sonata. And then we see James Storm talking to the Revolution about the higher power that is coming. We have the Revolution storyline, which is just them and the higher power. Right now, we'll eventually get their things together and get them someone to feud with, or another group to feud with later down the line. In a match that had some good action, but not much in the way of heat, Spud and Rob Terry defeated London and Kendrick in 12 minutes 49 seconds when Spud defeated Paul London by pinfall with a Spud saw following interference from Davey Richards. Brian Kendrick and Paul London showed excellent chemistry when teaming together. I still haven't changed their names. I did get a suggestion last I checked from Silly Talk about something with the British invasion or or something with the dogs, because Rob Terrier and Spud the underdog apparently. Go back a few videos and check out the comment section there. It's on the higher power episode, so you can see what I said in the comments, because I don't have it up right now. Then we have in the ring, Bobby Roode and John Hennigan have a contract signing for the upcoming match, with Kurt Angle serving as the host of the contract signing segment, as Kurt is the general manager. Bobby Roode signs the contract first before handing it over to John Hennigan, who then jots his name down, making the match official. However, things don't go so easy afterwards, and Bobby Roode and John Hennigan get into a brawl. 84 B+ segment, that's great. No work and skill improvements. Match will happen out against all odds. Then we see a match that has some good action and average heat. Mr. Anderson defeated Magnus in 14 minutes 31 seconds by pinfall with a mic check after a distraction from Bram. And then after the match, Bram and Mr. Anderson and Samoa Joe and Magnus won't stop fighting, despite the attempts by security to break them up. It's an all-out brawl to the back. So there will be a tag team match next week between Bram and Mr. Anderson on one team, and Samoa Joe and Magnus on another team, reuniting an old team. So there's that. Video airs hyping up Adam Cole. Then we have a fatal four-way for the knockouts number one contenders match. Eve Torres wins this when Eve defeated Brittany by pinfall with a handspring moonsault. 53C-, decent rating for them. Then Carlos Colon Jr. has an interview by Jeremy Borash in which he goes off on a rant about how much he hates Kenny King. Just trying a different interviewer instead of Josh Matthews, so at least Jeremy Borash didn't come out of the segment looking dreadful. And then in our main event, we have a 3 versus 3 tag match in which great action, good crowd, that's great. Kurt Angle, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode defeated Jeff Jarrett, Drew Galloway, and John Hennigan in 19 minutes 3 seconds when Austin Aries defeated Jeff Jarrett by submission with a last chancery. Good show, I think. And it only got a 72B-, so it wasn't as good as our last show, but it's still a good show. Increased our popularity in 22 regions and lost its popularity in the tri-state region, which isn't great, but we sold out the Americraft Expo Center. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to my channel. See you guys next time. Bye.